National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union's bid to hit the streets over the deadlocked public sector wage talks has hit a snag after the Department of Public Service and Public Administration managed to interdict the union's strike, which was due to take place tomorrow. Nehawu served the department with a strike notice late last month. Government has urged unions to address the impasse through dialogue. The public sector are demanding a 10% wage hike, while government is offering a 3% increase, as well as the gratuity, which it says amounted to a 7% increase. For reaction on this, I'm now joined by Nehawu's president, Michael Shingange. Very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. Your application to go on an indefinite strike has been dealt a major blow. What is your reaction?
Good afternoon, Mpo, and to your viewers, and more importantly to our members. You will remember that one of the instructions were given by the court was to, by 6 o'clock tonight, communicate with our members as to the court of action, including that which was raised by the court. We can confirm now that from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, the picket lines must and will hold. The strike of Nehawu is proceeding. The picket lines is the platform on which the leadership of the union is going to be addressing the workers. We have responded to the court, and we leave it there. But those who will go and fight in court will do so. The workers, they will do so in the workplaces, which is where they are applying their trade. So we want to communicate to everybody, including to our members, that the strike is on.
With the strike on, government has urged unions to address the impasse through dialogue. Do you think that that is still open, or do you believe that this manner of organizing is the way to go to get the attention that you need?
It's one of the records that workers have, especially when the government itself is the one that left us in the bargaining council. They are not doing it for the first time. No, they are doing it for the second time. They are doing it for up to time now that when the matters are still being ventilated, they leave the workers either in the conciliation like it happened this time around. They go to parliament where workers are not represented and they pronounce on the matters that affect the workers in the absence of workers. They did so last year by unilaterally implementing a overwhelmingly rejected offer by the workers. They did it at the other year in 2020 when we were still in arbitration. They left us, they took us to court. So we are more than open to have dialogue. That's what actually even this strike is about. It's about forcing the parties to go back to the engagement. But it is them that time and again they leave us and they go to the institutions in which we are not represented, including parliament and court.
Mr. Shingange, what will the difference be in the indefinite strike and strike proceeding in the picket lines? Why didn't you just go with that to begin with?
Well, I don't know if I understand your question, but indefinite strike is a strike that has got an ending date. It will only be decided by either the demands of the workers are resolved or at a time when appropriately the union through its members is going to make a call on what is the next course of action. But I'm talking about a picket line is that when we are not at workplace, when we are not where we work, we guard our workplace through pickets. We gather the workers through picket lines, and that is where updates about whether or not there's movement, updates about whether or not there are legal matters, updates about what is the no course of action get presented to our members. So the picket lines is a form of intensifying and keeping the strike to be ongoing on an independent basis. So the two are not explicitly different, except where we will have not declared a strike or serve a notice to strike, but only indicated an intention to picket. That we do during lunch hour pickets because we are using our own lunch hour to demonstrate. We will have seen the past 3 weeks we have been doing that as a build-up to the 6th.
So
March, which is tomorrow,
yes,
which is the beginning of a strike.
So let's go back to some of your demands.
Yes.
Some of your demands include a 10% wage hike. And, of course, where are you willing to settle as this strike continues?
We will settle as soon as there's a willingness on the part of the employer to come and negotiate and move from the fact that they think that they've closed the negotiations by implementing unilaterally, something that was overwhelmingly rejected. They must move from there, and then we can move down. We will see where we'll come as a middle ground. But for now, it means the employers stand on their position. We're standing on where we started at 10% when we started negotiation actually last year. So where we settle is a function and a product of collective bargaining. It's not a function of unilateralism as they've done last year, unilaterally implemented 3%. Yeah, so that's what we're fighting for here.
And perhaps let's perhaps paint a picture of the impact that this agreement will have on the workers.
This agreement will have a huge impact because you remember that it's 3 years now in a row that workers have not been getting a salary increase. They've not been getting a pay progression. They've not been getting an increase on their notch. They've not been getting an increase on their pension from 2020. When the government left the bargaining council, they went to court, all the way to the Constitutional Court, denying workers a salary increase even in the existence and in the presence of a signed agreement of 3 years since the Resolution 1 of 2018. When that happened, that year there was no growth in the income of workers, and that has never been recovered. There's a gap as we speak today of everything else that whoever has been getting an income from that time to today is getting to those workers of the public service that they had faced a stagnation and a regression on their salary and the pension growth. So the impact of the 10% or any other agreement will actually try to do what we call the cost of living adjustment. The things that workers used to afford before that disaster gone caught in the decision of the state in 2020 are they're no longer able to afford them. They will take years to recover the food basket that they used to afford at that time. But secondly, the agreement will mean that at least, irrespective of the percentage they get, there's a spirit and a commitment to respect collective bargaining. At the moment, the workers feel that this government have killed every other oomph that was left in as far as collective bargaining is concerned. But if there was to be an agreement mutually agreed upon, at least it restores the confidence on the institutions of social dialogue, as you have put it earlier on, that actually they are being respected, they are functioning as they ought to be functioning, and that's where parties are ventilating their issues in those bargaining councils.
Very well. Thank you so much, Mr. Shingange. Thanks for talking to us now.